guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you are all doing okay and have had a lovely start to January. I thought I would put a bit of a video together today. Obviously we are at the start of 2024 and I get so many questions from you guys about where to start in the whole nail industry. If you're wanting to get into it and you just have no clue where to start, then I thought I would put a bit of a video together on how to become a nail tech in 2024 and basically talk you through the whole process, because I know that it is a pretty daunting thing to have to take on. I have done so many videos in kind of little sectors along my channel. For example, how to build clientele, what sort of stuff you need in your kit, like to start off with, all of that kind of stuff, you know, filing videos, advice videos, all sorts of stuff. But what I wanted to do is just start basically a new one for 2024 to basically tell you where to start if you're wanting to become a nail tech this year. So like I say, if you've watched my channel before, I've been a nail tech now for 3 years and I can kind of talk you through what I did, and obviously I've learned a lot of things along the way which I can try and advise on. Obviously with regards to like courses and stuff like that, I only did one course, so I can only tell you what one course was like because I haven't done like all of the beginner courses, but I can try and advise you as best as I can, and a course is where you're going to want to start. Now, I've had questions in the past of what stage you need to be at when you're doing your course. Now, this is completely open. So when I first did my course in August of 2020, I think it was, yeah. I had never ever done nails before. I did a complete course which took me through acrylics all the way down to gels, and I basically had never ever done acrylics before. I'd maybe done my own gel nails in the past, and you know, maybe for a few months they peeled off straight away. We love that. But yeah, I literally had no clue, like not the foggiest idea. Now when I went into my course, there was probably about 10 other girls there and they were all at different stages. Some of them had been doing their own nails for quite a while and knew what they were doing and just basically needed to get qualified. Then there was me that had literally never done like acrylics or anything like that before. Now, one thing to make note of is that when I did my course back in 2020, Build-A-Gel wasn't a massive thing then. I'd actually never really heard of it, and yeah, now it's massive, and I know that there's going to be a lot more courses now specified to Build-A-Gel, whereas when I started, acrylic was the main thing and gels every now and again. But yeah, that's the course that I did, but you will have the option now to basically pick what course that you want, basically. So if you're going into nails thinking, I only want to do Build-A-Gel nails, I don't want to be able to do acrylics, then you'll be able to do a specific Build-A-Gel course. Now, if you wanted to be able to do all of them, then you will be able to find courses that will be able to cater for all of the nails that you want to do. You will also have e-file options. So if you're a nail tech that's going to want to use an e-file, you will need e-file training as well. My course included it. You will just have to look at all of the things that are included in your course to know whether you get e-file training within the course or not. If it's not included, you will be able to find them separately, so do not stress about it, because even if it's not included in your course, you will always be able to add it on and do courses afterwards, so don't stress about that too much. So you will first have to pick your course. Now, who to choose to do your course with is obviously an open thing. Everyone has their own opinions on where is best to train. I actually trained with a training academy, which was like an individual private training academy in Leigh called Wonderland Training Academy. I did a video on them quite a while ago now, but they sadly closed. I was really sad. Basically, the main girl that ran it got an opportunity to work quite high up at Glossify, I think. So she took on that and they don't do it anymore, which is really sad because the course that I did was perfect and I would love nothing more than to recommend it to you, but it's not there anymore, so I was sad. If I was going to do it now, obviously if I was going to recommend any, then I would personally recommend doing brand training. So I would look at doing a course with a specific brand that you want to work with. So for me right now, I use mainly Glitterbels products, so I would do a course with Glitterbels. They have courses on their website, and I would specifically do like brand training, so training with the particular brand that I want to work with, because you can also choose, depending on who you go with, some will offer you to basically buy the course with kit. So you will get all of your kit with you. So I chose that option, and I had kit included in my course, and I think a lot of it was NSI, and I think that was all it was actually, NSI products. So yeah, you could have the option to basically do your course with or without kit. Obviously without kit is going to be cheaper, but if you do it with kit, then it's going to make sure that you've got the basics there when you've qualified to basically start cracking. Now obviously when you are a newbie in this industry, knowing what sort of kit to purchase is another minefield in itself, and that was one of the reasons why I chose to have my course with kit, because I thought it would give me a little bit of help in knowing exactly what I need. So if you're starting from scratch, then I would definitely recommend doing a course that comes with kit, just because then it kind of takes the stress off you a little bit to then have to start the minefield of picking all of your kit out and knowing exactly what to use. And it just gives you a bit of a head start when you finish your course. You've got all your kit there and that you can start working. So that is one thing to bear in mind. But yes, if you are a nail tech and you're wanting to just focus on builder gel nails, then just do a builder gel course. If you're wanting to do everything, then you can look at courses that include everything. But just look at everything, that like the breakdown, it'll tell you exactly what is included in the qualification that you get at the end. And yeah, just do plenty of research on it. Obviously if you're going to do brand training, then I would do some research into the brand as well. So for example, I know the Gel Bottle do they do courses, but then obviously with the whole thing with allergies, I know it's kind of calmed down a little bit now from what I've seen anyway, but yeah, I would just look into the brands that you're doing your training with, just to make sure that you are investing, because obviously you're going to get kit with it. You obviously want to make sure that you're going to use that kit confidently, and you know, you're going to have faith in what you're using, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that is basically the whole thing with courses. Now there are also options to do courses online, and you have basically the option to do it online or in person. You also have group courses, or you can have one-to-one courses. I did a group course. I thought that was absolutely fine, didn't bother me. Like I just got as much help as I think that I would have done on a one-to-one. One-to-one's obviously more expensive, but you can, like I say, you can also do them online. I personally, there's nothing wrong with doing it online, but I personally think in person is better, just because you can see things like properly and see exactly how people are doing things. And that's just my personal opinion, that I would definitely do an in-person training course rather than online. So that is where you're going to start with your course, and then once you are qualified, you are going to need insurance. So I use ABT insurance. I will leave the link to their website in the description box below. Obviously there are other alternatives, but ABT are who I use, and they are so simple and easy to use. It was really easy to set everything up with them, and yeah, the website is just dead easy to use. You can call them up really easily, and I really recommend ABT. It wasn't too expensive, it was really reasonable, and yeah, I've had absolutely no issues with them, so ABT is definitely up there for me. So then when you've got insurance and you've got your qualification, you are then going to decide where you're going to be based. So you can either be based from home, you can be based from a salon, or you can be mobile. So they are obviously completely different options. It all depends on what suits you. I'm based from home. I always have been based from home. I've never worked in a salon, but obviously people want different things. Like people might want like that salon environment. People might not have the space to set up from home. I have messages from you guys that say they'd love nothing more to be set up from home, but they just struggle with space. So it's obviously, it's all like just personal kind of circumstances, whether you've got the space to work from home, whether you've got the facilities to do mobile, if you drive, if you don't. And then obviously with salons, you can rent a chair. So I see a lot of advertisements for salons that are looking for a nail tech, and they will just charge a set amount per day, and you have the setup there, and which obviously is better as well, because you've got like potential clientele coming in and out of the salon. So other people that might go in the salon, say to get their hair done, might see you in there and say, oh, I'll just get my nails done as well. So that is a perk of working in a salon. But like I say, I've never done it. It's all personal preference, but it's just something that you will just have to think about. I started off in a spare room of my house, and I was just doing family and friends to start off with. And then now I came out into the garden, and now I have like a little garden room, which you've probably seen in my nail room tours. So yeah, it's all personal preference, but that is something that you will need to decide. Obviously, this is just kind of very like sped up. Don't like let it be too much of like a, oh my god. Like, I get it's a lot to take in, and this is something that I did over like a period of time. It's not like just gonna happen like that, so don't stress. Obviously, with regards to building up your room, I'm so lucky. I love my my little nail room now, but this is not how I started. I literally started in a spare room. Then I came outside into like a little garden room, and even then it wasn't brilliant, but it did temporarily. And then now I have my proper nail room, which I'm absolutely obsessed with, but you, like I say, you don't get here overnight. It's just something that you have to slowly build up. I literally remember my little spare room setup. I'll try and find a picture and pop it in the corner or something to show where I started. But obviously I'm 3 years down the line now, and if you're a beginner, then we all got to start from somewhere. So obviously you are going to have your base kit if you chose to do your course to come with kit, and you're just going to have the very basics. Now, I've said this in so many videos, and I say it all the time, do not throw yourself in at the deep end and buy so much stuff, because it's not needed. Like, it's really not needed. You're just going to need the basics. You just need, say for example, one set of like tips. You're just going to need one base coat, one top coat, very basic colours. You know, depending on what season you're going into, say for example you're becoming a nail tech now in January, and or maybe like in a few months, I'd literally just get your basic colours, your nudes, your pinks, a couple of like glitters, basically like pastels, because you're going to be, the next season that we're going to be coming into is spring. Just focus on your like basic colours. Do not throw yourself in and think that you have to get like hundreds of colours, because you really don't. I've made that mistake plenty of times, and like I've said in other videos, I invested in when you start doing nails. Say for example you're doing acrylics, which you might not do. This was just my situation that I was in when I first started. I was mainly doing acrylics, and I bought loads and loads of coloured acrylics. Then I realised that I actually didn't want to work with coloured acrylic, and I wanted to work with core powders. And the core powders are like clear, nude, white, and then do a gel overlay rather than a coloured acrylic. And that was something that I learned months into like my nail journey, and I'd literally spent so much money on all of this coloured acrylic, and then I didn't even want to use it. So just buy very little like amounts of stuff. Like, just test it out, see how you work with it, see if you like it, and then when you've decided how you want to proceed, then you can splash out as much as you want. But for example, if you're starting as just a builder gel nail tech, just stick with your simple builders. So say for example, if I'm going to use glitter bells, stick with your nudes, stick with a base colour that is going to go with everything. For example, Cookie Cream from Glitter Bells is my holy grail. I've said this a lot, but Cookie Cream is just the most perfect base colour. I will find a set that I've used Cookie Cream, and I will pop it in the corner so that you can see it. But it's not too pink, it's not too sheer, it is perfect. It just suits so many of my clients, and it just leaves it open. If you want to do French, if you want to do nail art, if you want to cover it with a colour, just get literally one builder gel. That's all you need. Like, you don't need to be throwing yourself in and buying like 10 different shades of builder gel. It's just not needed. I've obviously grown my collection over time, but even now, like, I have probably 20 bottles of builder gel sat on the shelf, and I probably only use about 5 of them, because it's just not needed. Obviously Builder Gel is an infallible product and it's not changed every time, so it's just something that is gonna be a base for quite a while. So honestly, don't throw yourself in and buy loads of stuff. Buy the basics and you'll be good to go. I have done a video on what you need as a beginner kit wise. It was a hella long time ago, so do not judge me in that video because your gal was not experienced with this YouTube situation, and it's not a cute watch, but it's there for when you need it. So when you are first starting out, I am really lucky that I have plenty of friends and family that kept me going, because I actually first started in lockdown and there was lockdowns coming in and out, and there was just times where like I'd build my clientele up and then lockdown would come in and then I'd lose them, and it's hard work. But if you have your friends and family to keep you going, that is perfect, because it allows you time to practice, it allows you time to have spare time to practice on yourself as well as clients. It gets you used to having the client kind of communication and experience with it being somebody that you're comfortable with to start off with, because it is a stressful situation when you're first starting out and you have new clients. I remember the first client nerves, my God, were they bad. Like I was shaking, like not cute. It's stressful. It is stressful, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I just acted confident, like, and then I just tricked myself into it. But yeah, building clientele is gonna come with time. I have done a video on how to build clientele, so I will link it in the corner, and you can head over and have a look on how to build your clientele. But to start off with, friends and family will be a godsend. You can practice on them, even though they might not be good sets to start off with, but you might either not charge or just charge to cover the products, which is what I did. And just get you practicing, get some pictures, take pictures of everything, because every process, every kind of step that you go through, you will look back and you'll think, oh my God, look at those compared to where I am now, and it'll just push you to carry on, and just it does a world of good. So literally take pictures of everything. Practice on family and friends. They all have, and not everyone's nails are the same. You get used to different nail beds, different nail shapes, just completely different tastes. Like everyone wants something different, and it just gets you used to working with different people and working on different nails, as well, as daft as it sounds. But you will get used to different things, and also utilize your free time to practice on yourself. I know that when you first start and you might not be as booked as you want to be, you might have a lot of free time, and that might be really, really discouraging, but all I can say is utilize that time to practice on yourself. Because the one thing that I loved about practicing on myself, I had a practice hand, which I did use but not very often, was because I couldn't use my e-file on the practice hand. Well, I could to like maybe etch the nail plate, but cuticle work was a big thing for me. I really, really stressed about cuticle work because I was petrified of hurting people. But when you're doing it on yourself, you know exactly how much pressure to use, you know exactly what hurts, what doesn't. You know, if you maybe hold the nail file and then the drill in like one place for too long, you learn from all of your mistakes on yourself. So yeah, just practice on yourself, because you will thank yourself for it. And yeah, you'll just notice a big difference in your confidence when you know that you're doing something and you think, hang on, I've done this on myself and I know this doesn't hurt, so it's absolutely fine for me to do. Does that make sense? So yeah, utilize your free time to practice on yourself and just practice your application, which then takes me into my next point, which is to practice the basics first. I see so many people that are new into nails and they are trying the best to keep up with nail art trends, and nail art trends are fabulous if you can do them, but your basics and your application have to be spot on before you're moving on to that stuff. You really need to perfect your application and the basics of your prep before you move on to that, because there's no point in putting all of your effort and your time into the nail art when the basics and the application and the prep is not there. So just focus on the basics first, and then when you're happy with it and you know that, you know, you're happy with your work, then move on to nail art and French and all of that kind of other stuff, if that makes sense. Having the time to practice on yourself as well will make you realise what you're good at and what your niche is. Now, with nails, I think that everyone has their kind of niche, and my niche is kind of like simplistic kind of vibes. I'm not very good at art. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I am not good with art. It's actually quite funny, right? I'll tell you a bit of a story. Obviously, it's just been Christmas. One of my friends organised a Christmas bauble night. She's probably watching this video. She organised a Christmas bauble night and like a decorate a bauble. And they were all like, oh my God, here she is. She's gonna be amazing, because like, obviously she does nail art and all of that. Girl, when I tell you mine were the worst on the table, oh my God. It was horrific. It's absolutely horrific. I'm not good with art. I will admit to myself that I'm not good with art. And when clients come in and they ask me to do something nail art wise and I know I can't do it, I'll straight up tell them, which is another thing that I have learned now coming into like later into my journey. If I can't do something, I may as well just tell you straight, I can't do that. It will look horrific. I used to, in my previous years, be afraid to say no, do it, not be happy with it, and then just feel really awkward because like the nails are not as good as I want them to be. But yeah, I'll be honest now and I'll be like, girl, no, like I can't do that. You know, there's nail techs out there painting full-on Grinches on nails and Disney characters on nails. That's not me. I'm not that nail tech. Like, if you want that, I'm not for you. Do you know what I mean? Choose your niche and post that, because then you will attract the kind of clients that you are looking for, if that makes sense. So yeah, find your niche, post plenty of pictures, and your clientele will know what kind of nails that you're good at from what you post, if that makes sense. So yeah, I have done a building clientele video, like I say, and I will have linked it before, but I hope this helped. I tried to go through everything and just give you a few little tips along the way. If I did miss anything, then I'm so sorry. Let me know in the comments if I did miss anything, or if there's anything that you want me to go into more detail on. Like I say, I have probably done a video on it if there is something more specific that you need help on. I've got application videos, I've got shaping videos, I've got prep videos, I've got building clientele videos, I've got your kit videos, everything I have got into more detail further down my channel. So if you have a look and you can't find it, then let me know and I will make a video on it if I've not done it. But yeah, hopefully you found this little video helpful. Obviously, if you are going to become a nail tech in 2024, you will not regret it. It is literally the best decision that I ever made, and I'm so happy for you. So yeah, if you, as always, have any questions and you don't want to put it in the comments, you can always message me on Instagram. I'll pop my little handle at the bottom of the screen and you can pop me a message on there and we'll have a chat about it. And yeah, hopefully you found it helpful. I'm sorry if, I hope it all made sense. And again, sorry if I missed anything, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you found it helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.